This video will take you through getting you going with Clever Shipment Management. And there are three core areas that we need to access and address to do so: the setup, the areas themselves, and the delivery schedules. Once all three are set up and tied together, we can use Shipment Management. The first thing we'll do is configure the setup page for Shipment Management, which we can find through the search, looking for Shipment Management Setup. From here, there'll be a lot of different settings to configure. Your first action should be to go to Actions and pull through the default configuration for this particular Clever app. Once it's pulled through, just make sure to apply the package, which you can do from the notification across the top. This will populate information such as default country and region code, scheduling time period, the time ahead that routes will be calculated for, the time frame. You can see things in the Shipment Management Routes page. In this case, everything 1 month ahead, meaning we'll only show information for a month ahead to reduce the amount of irrelevant information at the current moment in time. More information about these various fields can be found within the Clever documentation. It's from here we'll also have to set up a route status list. We can set this up via Setup Status List across the top. Selecting Next. Selecting the shipping agent code we'd like to set this up for, such as our own logistics. Whether we want to consolidate shipments, and the warehouse configuration we should be using with this, whether using shipment picks and receipts and putaways, or inventory picks and inventory putaways. We then choose if this route also counts as deliveries and collections, or maybe just one or the other. And if we'd like to reserve inventory, we can select this here. That will create the necessary step in our statuses. We can do the same for processing and creating assembly orders and production orders, respectively. If we wish to print internal documents or shipping documents during our processes, we can actually have this done automatically by selecting these as we go through the status list. Depending on what you selected, once you click Finish, these will be generated for you for the shipment agent code in question. You can run and configure the Setup Status List function as many times as necessary for all your different shipping agent codes as required. And you can customize to add and remove different statuses just from the line section as well. Next, we need to set up our areas. Areas determine how customers get grouped up together in the eventual shipment management routes. We'll go to the Delivery Areas page by searching for it. And from here, we just need to create them by selecting New across the top. From here, we just implement the information in question. You start with a code and a description. You then specify the location code this particular delivery area is related to. You can even set up a country and region code filter as well if necessary. It's also from here that you can set a default vehicle and default driver that should be associated with this particular area, though this can be changed in the eventual shipment management routes, as you will have seen during the Getting Stuck In video. You can create new ones just by selecting New from the drop-down and adding the information. Finally, we have to set up the delivery area schedules. This will apply a schedule to our delivery area and will tie everything together so that when we're actually adding items and lines to our sales orders, it will suggest these particular areas for our routes. And we can do this in a couple different ways. One way would be to click Delivery Area Schedules from across the top and setting it up from here. Or from Number of Delivery Schedules. We can select and see the schedules currently applied to this particular delivery area by clicking into the number here. And we can also select New from across the top. We set the delivery area code, which will be the one that we're currently looking at, the location code it's relevant to, which shipping agent code this will be using. Bear in mind you can have multiple delivery area schedules, meaning you can have multiple shipping agent codes picked up by this particular area. We can select a particular agent service as required, such as next day delivery or standard. We then set a delivery schedule code. And these need to be set up. And we can do so from the drop-down just by selecting New. This is just saying what days this is active. So I can set up a day of the week, departure time, order cutoff date calculation, and order cutoff time, which will essentially determine when and where different orders will then be getting grouped under these particular delivery areas based on the schedules available. We'll give this a code for weekdays. And a description. And we can configure the days this will be relevant just below in the days section. So Monday, perhaps we depart at 2 p.m. And by setting the order cutoff date calc, we're telling the users the latest an order can be placed before having to be moved to the next delivery date. So for example, if we set this to 1D for 1 day, an order would need to be placed the previous day in order to make that day's delivery. We can even set an order cutoff time, which determines that orders placed after this time will miss the cutoff and be on the following shipment. This allows accurate order promising to our customers and avoid overloading the warehouse with last-minute additions, for example, orders before 2 p.m. for next day deliveries. And we'll just repeat this for every weekday in this example. Meaning this will only pick up orders on weekdays based on this timing. The date section below allows us to include exclusions and additions to the days above if necessary, for things such as public holidays where we know this won't be used. Meaning that the areas this is used against won't be suggested for routes on those particular days due to the exclusion. We'll select OK in this case. And we can even set up things like the base calendar code, default vehicle, and default driver if necessary across the top here. If we refresh this page, we'll be able to see the number of delivery schedules has now updated to 1 as we've got the 1 schedule applied. Finally, in the line section below, we just need to determine what actually encompasses this area to catch the right particular customers and their orders into this delivery area for my scheduling. For this, we can do it based on a postcode, customer, vendor, or a location. We'll do it for a customer in this case. Under destination number, we just select the customer in question. We can even select a ship-to code for our customers if necessary, meaning if they have a ship-to code for a different location or area, we can be setting that up as required. This will automatically fill in the postcode from and postcode to. In fact, you can even leave this blank if you wanted to use postcode as mentioned, as I could just simply enter a postcode from and a postcode to in here, which would encompass this particular area. Like so. And I can repeat this for every particular customer or location or vendor as required. Meaning now that when we raise sales orders for the customers are captured by this particular area, it will start creating shipment management routes for them, suggested under the West Midlands delivery area. Providing we have the correct location, shipment date on a weekday, the correct shipment agent, and perhaps agent service as well. Once we add in our items to our lines, we'll be able to see that in fact, a delivery area code has been suggested, that West Midlands we created, as well as a shipment management route number, has been added as a drop to that particular route. We could then release this and even see it on that particular route like so. And that's how you can get going with Clever Shipment Management.